live and get experiences. Yes, it's good to be in the gym, but also get some sleep. And then write down what you want to be, who you want to be, and don't be disappointed if that changes. That just means you're growing and you're figuring out more of who you are.
So today on Stool Talk, we're honored to have a special guest with us. Here on Stool Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose, and today's guest is definitely doing that. A great athlete, great team player, great offensively, defensively. Her teammates rave about her character, and I heard a lot of things about her, seen videos and highlights about her, a great college athlete. Today we have with us the one, the only Miss Jaela Johnson. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So how did this basketball journey start for you? How old were you when you first started playing?
When I first started playing, I was probably about 4 or 5. So I have a brother that's 4 years older than me, and like anything he did, I wanted to do. So I kind of just followed in his footsteps with it.
Wow, wow. When did you start to see it elevate? Like when you started to take off among your peers and you like, man, I really could do this.
Um, I don't think I ever had like I really can do this moment. It was like literally just like whatever my brother did, I wanted to do. But
Yeah.
I would say I was probably in about sixth or seventh grade, and we used to play at church all the time. It cost like $3 to get in. It was at St. Stephen's. And my brother used to pick me up to be on his team. And like I just remember one day my dad was in there and like they were always encouraging me like not to be scared to shoot. It's okay to make turnovers and everything. But like that day I went in there and I was really scoring like on older guys. Like I was so young. It's just like, oh yeah, like this is easy. Like if I can play with the guys, I can play with anybody. So
So you was a bucket back then, huh?
I was a little bucket.
How was the rivalry? How was the competitiveness? Of you and your brother, did y'all play one-on-one games? Did y'all have a lot of back and forths?
It was more of because of our age gap, I think it was more so like I just want to learn from what you do and make sure I'm not making the same mistakes, but also the things that you do well, I need to make sure I mimic that. So I sort of kind of got a blueprint of like what to do and what not to do in life and with basketball. So like the long car AAU car rides, it's like, oh crap, like I don't want to make some of those mistakes. So like I'm not getting that same reaction. But it was very competitive. Not really like accolade for accolade or like who can be who, but like more so like the standard that he set. Like I tried to make sure I didn't fall below that. So
Yeah, and that's good that you saying that because at a young age, that was inside you to know to follow that, to know to focus on that, to have the wisdom to be like, this what I need to be paying attention for. You wasn't just going for the emotion. So that was greatness in you at a younger age. What do you love about basketball?
I think the connection piece, like it's allowed me connect with so many people. Um, I don't know. I don't think anything else in my life would have taken me like to the places, through the challenges, like the friends that I've made, the again, the places that I've been like overseas and just in the United States. It's just, I think like how connected you are to people and how much you can learn from those around you.
Yeah. And what was your high school experience about? Like, how was that? How was that journey?
So I went to DuPont Manual High School in Louisville, Kentucky. That's where I'm from. And it was honestly like fun. It was a bit challenging, just because like as a freshman, I felt like I should have been playing varsity, not just because like I'm a freshman. I felt like I should be playing varsity, but like I felt like I was good enough. So it kind of humbled me that like basketball is a process. Like up until that point, I was able to like play up on teams and it came kind of easy. But high school was that first moment of like, okay, like just because you are talented, just because you are one of the best players on your team, it doesn't just automatically guarantee that you're going to step on the floor and have those minutes. It's something that's earned, not something that's just given out. So high school was fun. I made a lot of friends. I enjoyed high school. And I don't know, basketball was really just like a plus because I love school so much. But like I made a lot of good friends. And so like playing basketball with your friends, being able to, grow into walk in walking into being an upperclassman, it was something cool too, because it's like I want to take the good things from the leaders ahead of me, but like the stuff that I didn't like, I'm gonna make sure I'm not like that towards, the younger classmen coming in, because I want them to be confident when they step on the floor with me. So it was a
Yeah.
pretty good experience.
Did you play against Jaya McClure from Ohio? Because she's from
No.
Kentucky too, right?
Yeah, but we didn't play against each other. Like in college, we did. I played
Okay.
against her last year. I played against her last year when I went to IUPUI.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I know I had interviewed her and I know she's from Kentucky too. So I'm like, when I get her on here, I gotta ask, did they have any battles or did they play against each other?
Not as many as we should have had. Jay a real shifty though, but we work out together back at home. So that's my girl. I know she's putting pressure on anybody to step in front of her.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I definitely got to come see her, her and Monica Williams too. I'm
mhm.
gonna try to go probably when they play Toledo. I should be. It's my dad's birthday weekend, so I should be in town that time. And we'll talk about that later because you play for UT too, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. How did your as you going up the ranks, you getting up to being an upperclassman, how did your college process like happen for you, schools reaching out? How was that process?
I'm gonna be honest, like, yes, my brother's 4 years older than me, and it just draws back to him. Like, we didn't have the same journey going to college. So like I had more recruitment, more exposure. Times were different. Like the internet was advancing, like 4 year gap. 2020 to 2024 is a big gap in the way recruitment has went and everything. And so with my dad like being the center, of our basketball journeys, he didn't really have the tools and like the trust, to put in people, to give him the okay, like this is a good person to talk to, that's a good person to talk to. So like I was getting, the questionnaire letters from almost every school. I still got the box, like, but it's like as far as like the process and knowing, like talk to a coach and make sure they get to know you, make sure they get to know your family, make sure not only is basketball a fit, but schools a fit. Do they have your major? I didn't really know all of those things until I made a decision. So I committed at like at the last minute. Actually was supposed to go to UAB, but the day that I called, a girl committed at the same time as me. So I ended up going to Toledo. But it was just kind of tough because we had made it to state my senior year too. And it's like, I get that I'm going to college, but I can't be so invested, like in what college to go to. And I'm not even done, with my high school journey. Like my team deserves my time and attention. And I know that picking a college is a big decision. So I would just say like it was a tough process, but like I know that I can give somebody great, you know, guidance on how to make the decision and what things to look for and what process to go through.
Yeah, and that leads us up to my next thing. Speak to the youth on that process and what should they be looking for and what should they be trying to stay away from and how should they approach it?
So I would say approach it and be open, but don't be thirsty. Like know who you are and know what your talents and abilities that God gave you are. Like that's not gonna change. Whether you have a good game or a bad game, like it's really about your character. And in basketball, you're gonna have good games and bad games. So don't think that someone's picking you to be a part of their program based off of one single game or one single stat line. They've probably been watching you for a very long time and talking to people around you. So keep that in mind. And then as far as picking a school, first of all, you're a student athlete. So make sure you have an idea of what you want to do and pursue as far as education goes, because it's going to make basketball 10 times harder if you're just all over the place, as far as schooling goes. Um, as far as relationships and things with the coaches, don't be scared to ask coaches questions. Like ask them about them, ask them about like why they want you in their program, not just hearing them talk about why they want you in their program. Like make sure that the goals and the visions that you have for yourself like align with the coach's goals and visions, because it may be off a little bit, and that's okay. Like there are millions of schools out here. So I would tell them that. And then also like the name of the school matters, but what matters more is those relationships. Like you want to be with a coach that sees you as a person, not just as a product. So like you're a person outside of a basketball player. You're a daughter or a son, you're a niece, a nephew, a brother, a sister. So like making sure they acknowledge you for the person that you are, and that'll make your process a lot easier. And then I would just say go somewhere where you can have fun. So talk to the upperclassmen, talk to people on whatever campus you're going to, and take those official visits serious. Like, yes, you're seeing campus, you're seeing the gym. It's like, oh my goodness, college, the uniforms are nice. It may be Nike if you like Nike, Adidas if you like Adidas, but keep an open ear to how people are talking about the program and being honest. So that's the advice I would give them.
And because so many young kids, especially the ones I talk to, they're trying to go to these big schools. They're trying to go to the schools where all the five-star athletes are going,
Right.
and they're not, like you said, seeing where they can fit in at. It's cool if you go to a Michigan or Duke, but if you're not getting in and you can go to another school to play, they gonna see you wherever you at, long as you do
Exactly.
what you know supposed to do. Did you back when you were in high school, was that type of thing going on? Everybody like, I gotta go D1, I gotta go to these top schools. Was that the thought process then?
Yeah, a lot of people were like, I gotta go D1, I gotta go D1. But because of the high school that I went to, I think like our mentality was a little bit different. So I went to one of the top high schools in the state. I think we are the top high school in the state. Well, at least when I was there, we were. And so like it was more so they really ingrained in us like you are a student athlete. So like what do you want to be in life? Like, yes, you can be an athlete, but like injuries happen. I mean, life happens. Like people pass away. Like there's certain things, and like you may not want to be 8 hours from home. So like, what's driving you? So keeping that in mind that you're a student, like it kind of just changed our mind. So I had some friends go D2. I had some friends go JUCO right after it. And it kind of just taught them more about themselves. And some people let go of the game, and then some people elevated and they were D1 at the time, one of the last ones in my class standing. And we'll
Yeah.
get to that. But like no, I just really wanted to play basketball and I wanted to go to college, like, so that I could get my degree. So basketball included has just always been a bonus for me.
Yeah. When you were at UT, was Chris Darrington there
Chris Darrington.
on the boys team number 32?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so his journey was kind of like that. He went to Vincent's or something. It's the top JUCO.
Mm,
Vincent's or something. It's a top JUCO. It's like Indiana way or whatever. So he went there for 2 years, balled, ended up being an All-American. Then he went to Tennessee Volunteers.
mm.
He ended up transferring. So a best friend got killed, so he wanted to be closer to home. Ended up going to
Right.
UT, finishing out his career. But just like you said, you might have to start there at first, but then it might be another transition that's coming, especially with the NIL. Different people are in the transfer portals. Different people are transferring. So it's important to do those things that you are saying, and I'm glad that you spoke on every single one, even the jersey brand, where like you said, Nike or Adidas, because that's important too.
Yeah. I just feel like you got to find the fit for you, and like life is going to happen, but you got to start somewhere. Like just getting to college, you're in the 1% or 3% or whatever it is. Like there's a lot of people that aspire to be college athletes, and they wouldn't care about the brand on the jersey. It's like, man, I'm in college, I'm on a team, like I get to say that I did this. So having that perspective of like, and just like that character of gratitude of like I really made it, to a space that not very many people make it to, like that could take you a long way. Just in making decisions and just being grateful, for the challenges and trials that you may go through. Like it's still somebody wishing, that they could just have a fraction of what you're experiencing. So I
Yeah.
definitely get that.
So as you go to UT, what grade are you going into this year? Which school year are you in?
School wise, I am just a grad student at this point.
Okay.
So taking you through like a little bit of my journey of how I got to Canisius. So I was at Toledo for my first 3 years of college. So I started college in 2018. And
Okay.
so I tore my ACL my true sophomore year. So that's 1 year back. And then while I was at Toledo too, it's COVID. So technically leaving there, I'm a freshman, like
Yeah.
as far as eligibility goes.
Yeah.
And so I transferred from there. Like a few of my coaches that I loved left. And Tony Green, he recruited me my freshman year, him and Tiffany Swafford. That's my head coach now. Full circle.
Okay.
We'll get there. But he left before I even got there. I think he went to like Mississippi State or something. So it's like, man, the person I've been talking to, like the in-home visits, all of that, it's like, he's not even here. Like, what am I gonna do? So stuck around, waited it out. I made some great friends there. It wasn't all bad, but just like basketball wise, it just wasn't for me. I wasn't playing as much as I would have liked to my liking.
Yeah.
And then just like tearing your ACL, like it really is like a mental process. Like it's a journey. It's not something you just recover from so fast. So I wanted to be closer to home. So I entered the transfer portal my junior year, and I got an offer from Bellarmine. I didn't give the portal a chance because I didn't really know what it was about. I just knew that like put your name in there. It's just kind of waiting on schools to contact you. But Bellarmine was now D1. They were D2 back in Louisville, Kentucky. And so they were D1. I'm like, it's D1. I can be closer to home. My parents can see me play. Grandparents can see me play. My brother, like it was a great opportunity. So I went, I balled 2021 season. Like it was great for me in the A-Sun. And then that very next year, um, we played LSU. I tore my ACL the first game. I'm like, oh my goodness. And just transparent, like I was like, if I ever tore my ACL twice, like I'm quitting. Didn't quit, of course, but like it was really, really hard. It's like, dang God, like, what are you trying to tell me? And I keep,
Was it the same one?
no, it was a different one. It
Okay.
was a
Because
different one.
you
So
kind of glanced over there and said I was balling. You would average like 15 points.
yeah.
You
And
wasn't
that
you was doing your thing up there.
was
Don't just glance over like, yeah, I was yeah, no, you was
I
doing it.
was I was doing my thing, but like it didn't feel so good because we weren't winning. And that's a lesson that it taught me too. Like it don't matter if you're getting 40 points a game. If you're losing, it's just not a good feeling. It's not. But it was a really good year. And I can say like that was my first year of college basketball. I know viewers are gonna be like, your first year, like you went to Toledo for 3 years and then you went to Bellarmine, yeah, it was your first season there, but I mean, you've been in college for 4 years, but it's like it's different when you're in college and playing basketball, and in college playing basketball, and you're a part of the experience for a long time. I was playing every other role except for the role that people get to see on ESPN, ESPN 2 and 3, and everything. I wasn't really getting in the game, so that was a process on its own. But I went to Bellarmine, was there for 2 years. I tore my ACL first game against LSU, first 5 minutes, like. I was just like, dang, my God, like I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I don't know what you're trying to do. Like I gave you the sport back once. And I guess like from what I've learned to like today, like maybe I had basketball too high on the pedestal. Like I'm back. I had a great year. I'm looking to duplicate from last year, but it's like, no, your character's the same, but like your game is supposed to grow every single year. So I'm comparing myself to last year, all preseason already, like trying to grow from those numbers, but it's really like just have fun is the mindset that I should have had. So just freak accident, tore my ACL, was sitting out. Not gonna lie, like that mental battle was tough. Like it was really, really tough. But I'm really appreciative for like my support system, my family, like, and just my own intuition and trusting God and knowing when to move and when situations are not for me. So like, yes, I left a school. I'm looking for other opportunity, but I also open the door of opportunity for somebody else. Like, don't
Yeah.
stay somewhere where you're unhappy. Don't stay somewhere like where you've tried everything. Like, it's a process to leaving. Like, don't just leave because you don't like it. Have those conversations and have that communication so you know that's the right move for you, because one conversation could change things, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the case for me. So then I went to IUPUI last year. I got my master's in sports journalism. That was also just another teaching lesson. Like it was a brand new team. Like everybody transferred for somewhere. So like we sort of kind of shared like trauma bond, like from transferring. Like it wasn't all so good, like new coach, new players, but that
Yeah.
was an experience too. And I can't do anything but like take joy from it and positivity, because it helped me grow as a person. Like it really helped my character development, to like, just because you transfer, that don't mean it's gonna be all green and all good. Like sometimes you got to stay. But I feel like with that move to IUPUI last year, that was to show me again, like you're more than an athlete, and two of your worlds that you love can collide. So like I love to write, like I journal, I do poetry and all these different things, but I'm also an athlete and my worlds collided. So had an opportunity to cover, the NCAA first and second round of the men's tournament. It was great. And I covered the Horizon League tournament. So I got that from that. And then leading me
Wow.
here.
Hold on before you go there. Hold on, because I want to
Okay.
touch on some things.
For sure.
It's amazing how even in hurt, even in trauma, even in sadness, how you still gain knowledge and wisdom out of it. Where did that come from? Like, and secondly, how was your faith and what is faith to you? How was your faith during those times? Did you question God or did you say, Lord, I'm gonna just trust you? Because most people would have been like, this happened to me, this happened to me. And you're selfless. I can tell. That's how I know you're a great team player, besides even hearing it from your teammates. You just said, this happened to me. But in the midst of this happening to me, a spot opened up for somewhere else. And I'm going to just gain what I learned about this situation in that. Where is all this coming from? Because most people don't think logic like you doing.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, like emotionally, like I was torn down, probably just low. Like, and that happens in life, but my mom and my dad and my brother, like, they just always give me perspective. Like, and when you're going through things, you don't want to hear like, oh, someone else has it worse, but it's true. Like, someone else doesn't even have the opportunity. Say you got an injury to recover in a safe space, like the safe spaces that I was even recovering in. So it's just like my mom, like, she's deeply rooted in faith, and she would give me Bible verses. But like as I'm growing into a young woman, like I'm seeking God on my own. So it's like, okay, I'm going through this. It's a whole, like list of definitions of words, of feelings, emotions in the back of the Bible. It's like, okay, I think I'm feeling depressed. What does it say about this? Like, who experienced this? So when I tore my ACL the first time, I went to like counseling and stuff, all that stuff at school, the resources. But the second time that I did it, it's like, okay, I really got into the story of Job because I just felt like everything was gone. Like everything got taken away, the everything that was in my world. And I just like would like to express like my gratitude and my sympathies and empathies. Like when you're a child, like sometimes your parents don't always get it because they weren't like an athlete awarded the same opportunity as you. But it's like your struggles and your challenges that you're going through, even though people may not understand, they're still valid. So it's like for my world and what it was and what it is, it's only been school and basketball. Like, so it was kind of wrecked. But it's like, okay, what do you want to do? And what's the main thing? Like, what's the main thing you're trying to do? So the main thing for me that was keeping me going is like basketball may be, shut out, maybe out of the way, may not be able to be involved the way I want to, but I'm a student. Like I love to learn. So in learning, take more classes.
Yeah.
Almost like not don't be um delusional about your injury, but like focus your energy somewhere positive because if you focus on the negative, it's only going to get worse. So I tried to just focus on the positive things that were going on around me and like teammate having a bad day. Okay, cool. But like, what can you do, to help them out? So like just finding little small things throughout my day, to keep me going. And they were not all green. Like I had some days where I look back and I'm just like, that's not me. That's not who I wanted to be. Like my character was flawed in that moment, but without those moments, I wouldn't be the person, on here being able to give advice to people, like thinking that I'm right all the time. Like, no, you're gonna have those moments where, you do have character flaws and you do fall short of the person you want to be. You may lash out, but it's like, how do you recover from that? So just being aware of like who I am and who I want to be, like keeping that main thing the main thing, but also being a child of God and seeing what that looks like putting that first. Okay, so being a child of God, there are these things that you must do. Like it's a choice to follow Christ. So there are some things that you must do. How does that align with the rest of your life? And you just find like those fine lines that just merge your worlds together and teach you how to be a better person in the face of adversity.
Wow, that was amazing. You touching me with that, man. It's amazing to see, athletes talk, especially even young people talk about God and talk about faith and allow people to see because so many people question God, they question different things, or is it real? Is it this? Just like your teammate Cornelia, when she was on here, she was saying how she was praying and had faith and how her trusting in God and the plans that he had for her landed her there at a D1 school, and that's what she was wanting. She didn't know where it was going to happen or how it was going to come because that's what faith is, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of them not being seen. So it's just amazing when you have someone who thinks like that and God is showing itself to you. So what I would say to you is allow yourself to be able to spread that to other people because they need to hear what's in you. And I can just see by the fruits that's inside you of your relationship that grown with God, other people need to hear that as well because you are a product of God's will being done, not your will. Your will would have had you somewhere else, but you
Yeah.
follow God's will and he had you to be able to share on here on this platform and even around your school. What would you say to someone battling an injury coming back and don't know how it look as far as for them? What would you say to them?
I would say like know what appropriate conversations you need to have. So like talk to your trainers. Like they're there for a reason. Like not just to, help nurse you back to health, but 9 times out of 10, it's not their first year and you're not the first ACL or ankle sprain or, back injury or spat. Like you're not the first person that it's ever been done. Like an injury has happened to at the capacity that yours is at. And so I would say like talk to your trainer, also talk to your coach, like have those real conversations. Don't let things, and this is one thing that I struggle with, just moment of transparency again, like don't let your mind trick you into thinking that people don't understand you or you're not heard. Like you're never going to be heard if you don't speak up. So go talk to your head coach, like, hey, coach, like, I know I have this injury, but where does that put me? Like, what do you see for me? Has your vision changed? Like, be able to have those conversations and then just keep your confidence. Like I said earlier, know who you are and have mentors and people around you that are doing things that you want to do, that are the type of people that you want to be, so that when you do have that moment of uncertainty or negativity, like y'all built this bond and this connection, or there's something about them that, you like and you aspire to mimic or, add to your life. It's like, okay, like I have the right people around me. I'm being built up every day. And then it gets you outside of yourself and you're like, okay, I'm more than my injury. Like, yes, I'm injured, but like there's so much more I could be doing. I can use my voice. I can clap my hands. I can remind someone of a play. I can make sure I'm at PT on time. I made most of my college friends in physical therapy in the training room. I'm not gonna lie. So it's just like just staying outside of yourself, because the situation, like I keep saying, it's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. So you just got to keep that optimistic lens that like life is good. Like though I'm injured, like
Yeah.
life is good. I'm in a good space.
Yeah, yeah. So we leading up until now. You at Canisius. How did that happen, and what's going on there?
So Canisius, like I said, Coach Swafford recruited me my junior year of high school, and so she got the head coaching job here, and I seen it on Instagram. Like I keep up, my favorite coaches. I'm gonna keep up now. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Like
Yeah.
keep got their numbers. I'm a text. May not call because it's a little sketchy with the NCAA recruiting stuff, but always send a text. Keep up on social media. And so I had seen that she was the head coach, and like I was just looking, and I just threw it out there like, coach, if you got a spot, you need a point guard. Like I'm here because I transferred from IUPUI.
Yeah.
But before that, I was gonna go to SEMO, and I had posted that on my Instagram. But the head coach left, so I'm like,
Here we
man,
go again.
like God, here we go again. Like, is this for me? So before I even get to Canisius, I'm gonna be honest. I actually quit. Like, I prayed. I was like, God, like I'm gonna just make a plan, and I'm gonna give it to my mama, and we gonna go through with the plan because I gotta move back home. Like I gotta figure it out. Like I don't want to keep setting
Yeah.
myself up for heartbreak and disappointment. Like I've been in school for 6 years. Like it's been a lot on me, truly. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest, I put it down. But before I put it down, I texted Coach Swafford and I was like, hey, like if you need a point guard, I'm here. I got you. Like whatever you need. So she called me and she was like, hey, like, I love you, but like I'm being real strategic about the pieces that I'm putting into place. So like it's not just like because I know you and I once recruited you that you can just come into a program that I'm creating, because there's a certain culture that I want. There's certain type of people, there's certain things I need on the floor, and like I don't know. And I get where she was coming from, because she met me, I wasn't immature to the point to where like you couldn't be around me, but I was young, like it's a
Yeah.
freshman. Like freshman me to now, it's like I got some things I need to tell you. So when I had spoke to her, it was right before dead period. So I had a week of not knowing anything. I decommitted from SEMO and I didn't know what Coach Swafford was gonna say. So in the midst of that, like I didn't just sit and like do nothing. I
Yeah.
prayed, and like it was just conversations every day with God and like my mom, my dad. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't even know if I want to do this. Like, this is just crazy. It's dead period. I can't even check in. I can't do anything. So I'm gonna tell you how crazy, like those moments where it's nobody but God.
Hmm.
Coach Swafford was like, I'm gonna call you first thing in the morning. And one thing I know that hasn't changed about her is that she wakes up at the crack of dawn, like crack of dawn, no question. She's up at least by 6 o'clock. So I woke up early. I wake up early anyway, but she was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I woke up early and I'm like, okay, God, like I'm about to go get my mom my plan of what I want to do, which was go back to Bellarmine and start my master's in respiratory therapy, because that's something I've always wanted to do, but like with basketball, the scheduling conflict. So
Yeah.
I'm like, God, like I'm about to go up here. My mom's drinking coffee, and I'm about to give her this plan. And I'm trying to wait around a little bit because like something in me, I don't want to stop playing basketball. Like it's such a hard decision and transition. I'm like, man, I need Coach Swafford to call. So I went upstairs. I gave my mom the whole plan. She's like, okay, like you can do it. That's gonna be fine. My mom gets a phone call. Okay. I got a phone call at the same time as Coach Swafford, but I ended it. I'm like, I ain't answering. I'm not about to hurt her feelings. Like I just texted her, like, Coach, I'm hanging up the shoes. I got all that I can get out of basketball. She called me back so many times. So I went to go answer it because my mom was still on the phone. She's like, Jaela Johnson, you are not done playing basketball. Your assist to turnover ratio hasn't been good since the last time I seen you. And I'm just like, dang, like my assist to turnover ratio, like out of all the things you looked at that. And she's like, no, like my staff, we looked at you, like we love you. You've grown, but you haven't grown as much as you could have grown if I was your coach. I'm just like, oh my goodness. She got throw some humor in there, but she's like, we love
Yeah.
what we see. Like, I know the type of person that you are. I know the type of leader you can be. And like, I know how hard your journey has been. So like, once we got there, I just opened up the alabaster box, like everything that I went through, because I trust her with anything. And in
Mhm.
return, like my transparency, she was transparent with me about some things that she went through. And she just like, she got where I was coming from, like with NIL and the coaches and like the mindset of younger players and the mindsets of coaches. And it really is a lot being a Division I collegiate athlete, but like it is worth it. Like you learn so much that like life really can't teach you. You feel me? Like it's a healthier, smoother way into adulthood, if you ask me. So talking to her, I'm like, okay, coach, I gotta let you know because I just gave my mom like this whole plan about how I was about to stay at home, and like now I'm not doing that. So I told my mom. She was upset, of course, because she want me to be at home. Talk to my dad, talk to my brother. They're just like, do it. Like it's a different city. You get to do what you love one more time, and you get to go to school for free. Like it's still people in debt to this day. Like, and you're going 7 years free. Like educated, you're taking it serious, good grades every year. So just go do it. So that's how I got the Canisius. Like she brought me here to help her build a culture, like not necessarily to be the top scorer, to be the leading,
Yeah.
like assist, like all that would be great. And that is something that I'm striving for. But it's just like if I get none of that and we win games and I'm able to help her lay the foundation, like I said, for people behind me that are gonna come and have a solid college experience and grow as people because that's what she cares about. That's something I want to be a part of. Like that's
Yeah.
something I do a million times over. So that's how I got here.
Yeah. What do Jalen Johnson bring to the table? Or what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses?
Strengths, I would say I care about the things that I'm doing. I really don't do too much that I don't care about. Like if I don't care to do it, I'm really not investing my time and energy. So I would say I bring my care, I bring my experience, of course. Um, I am I'm bringing leadership, but that's also something that I need to work on because like I've never really had to do it. Like I used to lead by example and I thought that was enough. But when you have people that actually want to follow you, that's different. Like they
Yeah.
need that communication from your voice and it holds weight. So I'm learning that. Um, I bring discipline, I bring trustworthiness, I bring my faith, I bring just me and who I am. Like I'm not really trying to change, the person that I am to fit in anywhere else. It's just like I'm bringing me. Like, and if you want to be with me, then that's cool. And even if you don't, there's some commonality, some common ground that I know we can find. So I think I bring my open mind more than anything because I know like everybody has, pains, everybody has struggles, everybody has things they want to be better at. And I've almost been every player in college basketball, the practice player, the injured player, the upperclassman is getting 0 minutes, but still cheering for the freshmen that's getting more minutes than me. I've been the transfer. Like I've played so many different roles. Like I know I have something good I can give, to my teammates. So I bring that.
Yeah. What will be your goals this upcoming season, individually and team wise?
Individually, I really just want to be a great leader, whatever that looks like. And leadership is different for everybody. So just making sure that I'm keeping like our core values at the center of everything, that I'm dishing out and being consistent with the leadership that I have. That's one of my goals. Of course, assist to turnover ratio, just in case my coach watches, like making sure that that is on the up and up and positive. And just having fun. Like we haven't really made like our team goals yet, but we have our core values. And so my coach is more like process driven than, goal driven. Like we need 25 points at the end of this. It's like, no, like in the process, what did we learn, so that we can get that 25 because we're doing the little things, extravagantly. So just making sure that, I'm being that positive light to my teammates and helping us bond because we're all new. Like it's only
Yeah.
3 returners on our team. I think 3 returners. So it's just like making sure we all stay connected and we're doing things on the floor with intention, but also off the floor with intention. Because it's some people's first go around in college, and then some of us is just like, this is our second or third go around, but it's still different because we're in a different city, different environment, new staff, new teammates. So just making sure we're staying connected and
Yeah.
intentional.
How was it when you first came in, y'all was practicing, whether it be a scrimmage, whether it just be you shooting around when you hit that first jumper, when you laid the ball up, you did that first move. When did it feel normal or you like, yeah, yeah, I'm back. It feel routine.
Like from the injury or coming to Canisius?
Coming to Canisius.
Coming to Canisius, it was just welcoming. Like when you have great leadership, some of the stuff that you worry about just goes out the door. So like from the
Yeah.
moment I walked in, and like we did Zoom calls like you and I are doing right now with the team, and I have some teammates that are foreign, like they're from overseas. So it's just like to be able to see everybody in person, it was just great. It's like I've only seen you on a computer screen, but we all have had the same conversation with my coach, so I know what type of people y'all are, even without knowing y'all. So it was just a good feeling that, like, man, if the last one is the best one, and I have to wait for the last one to be the best one, and whatever I do, it's gonna be worth the wait, like just off the welcome that they gave me. And then
Mm.
as far as like basketball is basketball. Like a layup's a layup, a jump shot's a jump shot. And I know how much work I put in, but doing it with people who have the same goals as you, who have the same energy, the same passion, the same yearning to get better and stay in the gym, it's been beautiful since I've been here.
Yeah, Cornelia Clay, like we talked about, is your teammate. I'm excited to see y'all on the court, together and see how that looks as well. Can you speak on her and tell us a little bit about
Man,
her?
I love Nuna so much. We call it Nuna. I don't call it Cornaya.
I,
But
I look, I don't want to be saying Nuna on the
yeah, 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 that's my
girl
girl.
government. Yeah,
But Nuna,
Nuna.
she's just so like we connect on so many tips and she's just so eager to learn. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. She's just easy to be around and that don't come so easy, all the time, especially with technology. Young
Hmm.
generation won't be like everybody else but themselves. Like, but
Yeah.
she's just so open. She's Christ driven,
Yeah.
and she's just a joy to be around. She's gonna be a great, great, great point guard just because she cares. Like, we share some of the same qualities in that aspect, but where she differs from me, my freshman year, she stays in my ear asking me something like,
Yeah.
hang out, can we go 5-on-0? Can you take me through this? Am I doing this right? Like she wants to get the small things right, and she's not so much worried about the big things, and that's gonna take her a long way. Like she's a
Yeah.
really solid individual.
And when you were talking in my spirit, I'm like, yeah, she gonna have somebody who she can spread the gospel with. They can fellowship, they can strengthen each other. They can pray. That's in my spirit. That's what I was,
Yeah.
just hearing you speak or whatever.
Well,
Um,
we've been talking about starting a podcast, like for athletes, just about like our journeys with Christ and everything. But we
y'all
we
need
still we
to.
still praying about it. We're working on it, but
Yeah,
y'all
I'm
heard
gonna
it
be
first.
I'm gonna be praying too, or two or three
Yeah,
are gathered in this.
for sure.
Y'all, hey, let me be your first guest.
Come on.
So last couple questions, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Okay.
As of right now in the stage of your life, what keeps driving you? What's driving Jayla?
Um, Honestly, the same stuff. Like I would say, like right off the bat, God drives me. That's where I get my strength from. But my parents too, like we've been through a lot just as a family, like, the unspoken and
Yeah,
just knowing from a young age, like the sacrifices that, my mother and my father have made, like, and my brother has made, their disappointments, their uncertainties, their worries, like knowing that I'm doing something in life that brings them joy and I'm doing it safe and I'm doing it clean, that keeps me going. And then I got little cousins looking up to me and like really just my family. Like I'm doing something good for my family. I'm setting a great example for my family and my friends and just those around me who really care about me and are looking to me like on any tip, like maybe just to call and check in, to see how they're doing. Like that's making somebody's day. So I would say that keeps me driven, like just knowing that I'm doing something to be of service to someone else, or I'm just that positive that somebody's like, hey, you need to be more like Jaela. And it's like, yeah, be more like me, but be like the optimum me. Not that you're not going to make any mistakes, but like, if you can, take all the good parts of me. I'm going to tell you about the bad, but I'm going to tell you so you won't have to experience as bad. But my family and my friends, they most definitely keep me driven.
Yeah. What's gonna be your goals post basketball? Like you mentioned, your education, you're a
Mm.
writer, you're a poetry, and even what you're gonna do in your major. What do you think your goal is gonna be, or what do you have planned for, after basketball?
So right now, off the top of my head, I have my master's in sports journalism, and then I'm getting my master's this year in sports administration. And
Wow.
so if I could get like, it's about where you start. Again, I'm starting freshman year all over again, like an entry level job for the NFL. I eventually want to work in public relations because like it would just tie
Yeah.
together everything that I love. So like I would have the player relations, but I would also be able to do things in the community. So like that would be ideal. It could be in the NFL, NBA, WNBA, but I'm not biased. And more women are needed in the NFL. So I just
Well,
say,
ain't y'all by Buffalo
yeah,
Bill? Y'all by the
mhm,
Bill Stadium? How far is that from
yeah,
y'all? Because I like Buffalo, so I'm trying to figure out a weekend that y'all got a game on Saturday. I can go see my Bills on the Sunday.
yeah. The Bills, it's like 20 minutes from campus,
Wow.
maybe. And then UB, University of Buffalo, it's like 10 minutes up the street. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's ideal.
amazing.
Life after basketball. I mean, be a mother, of course. That's something I aspire, be married, be a mom. I'm an aunt to be. My nephews literally do any day. And just
Wow.
travel, spend time with family, like really live life. Like life is already hard. So really
Yeah.
like and growing into my more mature adult years, just really being intentional and like loving life, like living life, having fun. So
Yeah. Lastly, whatever comes on your heart, can you speak something positive to the youth?
mhm. Um, don't be scared to be you, even if it's different. Whatever space you're in, like just bring your own unique self. You trying to be like somebody else, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work. You're gonna revert back to being who you are anyway. So do that. Listen to your parents, but also like share your concerns with your parents too. Like develop that open line of communication so that when things arise, like you all have that means of communication. And it's not just you're a child, and because you're a child, I say it's like I get that, but there's a way to say stuff to your parents that is on your heart in a respectful manner. As far as basketball goes in sports, um, just stay in the gym, like, but also have a fine balance of like hanging out with your friends. Like the basketball is gonna be there, and so there is a time to train, but there's also a time to do life. Like basketball is a sport, but you have to connect with people. You got to learn how to talk to people, and you only do that with experience. So go out and live and get experiences. Yes, it's good to be in the gym, but also get some sleep. And then write down what you want to be, who you want to be, and don't be disappointed if that changes. That just means you're growing and you're figuring out more of who you are. So that's what I got.
Well, we thank you. We're spotlighting you for your excellent work on and off the court, and even, your faith and even the way you think and the way God is moving for you. We pray that God reclaims all the time that the enemy stole from you, and he gives you favor this year in the up and coming, in the classroom, on the court, in your career, in your field. May you be around all the right people who needs to hear you, who needs to hear what God has put inside you. May you have the wisdom to know, how to operate, how to move. May your steps be ordered by God, and may you be strong and have courage and be bold this season. No weapon formed up against you shall have the ability to prosper. You are more than a conqueror. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. And know that as you go this season, and just be that great leader, because can't nobody be you but you.
Amen.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. It's been great. Ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, Jaela Johnson.